From the top, City back on top today after their win at Burnley. Liverpool second. Look at the points, 92 and 91 respectively. 70 Spurs, 2 points the gap then to Chelsea, 4 to Arsenal, and Manchester United with 65 from there, 36 played. Leicester taking 8th today after that win over the Gunners. So, much to discuss. We've also got the club on the way. Live football tonight. They were 2 up as well, weren't they?
Yeah, after 20 minutes. Hi.
So, 1 win in 11 between them, because it was 1 win in 8 prior to Arsenal playing today, 1 win in 9, and then you include these two as separate entities.
Staggering, isn't it?
It's remarkable, isn't it?
I mean, you think, top-class teams, right? And I know the league's extremely difficult, and we know there are no gimmies, but for those 4 teams to have those figures is absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
It's very strange. It's sad to see. I mean, that's not what you expect from this top 10.
To be fair, does it have anything to do with Tottenham and their concentration now in the Champions League, with Arsenal and Chelsea involved in Europa League games this week? All of them have been very kind matches to get to this stage, haven't they?
Richard, I think you've been extremely kind. I really do. I mean, you're talking about teams that throughout their history have been involved in European matches throughout the week, and they handle it. That's why they've got big squads. So I think you've been very, very kind. I just think it's poor performances. I mean, look at Spurs against West Ham yesterday. West Ham, I always feel, are capable, right, of providing a shock somewhere along the line, if you would call it a shock. But I mean, Arsenal's away form, for example, has been absolutely dire. Manchester United, 2 victories in 10 games. I mean, that's
7 defeats.
Incredible statistic.
Although he'll look back on that and say, but for that late clearance off the line, we'd have won that today.
Yeah, and that would have maybe papered over things that were evident there. They were nowhere near. If I tell you in the second half of a game that Manchester United need to win, and it's 1-1, that the whole team of Manchester United had 5 touches of the football in their penalty box, in Chelsea's penalty box. 5. And one of them was Rojo's header at the end. That's it. The whole team. Now, I'm sorry. That's not Manchester United. It's nowhere near Manchester United. It should not be considered good enough for Manchester United.
And in theory, it would only have been 4, because she should have been off the park.
Yeah, that's true. He should have been off.
It was a horrendous tackle.
It was a horrendous tackle.
A terrible tackle. But Andy's spot on. I mean, we're talking about Manchester United here, right? Those figures are statistics.
Old Trafford.
Yeah, Old Trafford.
Yeah. That was a difficult place to go a few years ago.
As the match went on? Yeah, we start, a bit slowly. We concede a goal, but today we had a reaction. So that's the good thing. We score a goal. In the second half, I don't remember one chance for them. So we just be in control of the game for the first half. And yes, I think we just play a good game.
That belief you talked about in your first answer, why is that not there? Is that because away from home, particularly against the big 6 teams, it has been difficult for you?
I don't know. Play away is not the same than when you play at home, of course. But no, I think we have big players. We can handle it with the pressure, and so we just need a bit of not motivation but determination. I think to score this goal that can maybe is the difference between a draw and a win. So, but like I say at the end, I think 1-1 is a fair result for us.
It was quite a physical game. Do you also think it was quite leniently refereed?
I think the game was hard, but in a good sense. When you play against this kind of game, United, Chelsea is always tough, and you have football is a sport of contact. So I have no problem with that. I think the referee did a great game today, and I think that.
Feel exhausted. I don't just mean today, but the number of games.
Yeah, but it's not just this season, you know, it's the last 10 season. We are playing a lot of games, and we know the Premier League is not easy. You need to fight all the games, 90 minutes if you want to win one game. So yeah, it's hard, but you know, we have everything, you know, physios and to work very well. So we'll do it now. We have 2 weeks to play, and then it's a holiday.
You're very close to Champions League now, and I don't want to draw you too much into your own future, but how important is that whatever you do, you're playing in the Champions League next season for a player of your quality?
Chelsea first. Chelsea has to play in the Champions League every year. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world. So, and for myself also, I want to play Champions League, but we will. Well done.
Event really, apart from the hurried scoring in the last few minutes. I think the biggest difference for me, Jim, they started off, they were moving the ball quickly. Pop, pop. Second half, it was more leisurely, that slow, easy OT. And I think that transmitted. And they've got a lot of know-how in their team. Whatever anybody says about Chelsea, you know, the know-how. And I must admit, every time the little fella, the number 10, got the ball, you went, anything could happen. I think, actually, United have done reasonably well to contain him the way they have today. Because he always looks as if at least the world's worst he's got a penalty. But second half was, somebody's just said it, a damn squib.
Lou, what were your thoughts on going back to the first half? Nice to see Juan Mata back in the side, back with a goal on his birthday as well against his old club. You can continue as long as you want. And it was all going so well at that stage.
It was, Jim, but I've seen that with this team. I've seen it a number of times this season. You know, one good half and the second half pretty poor. It's just the overall desire and the commitment. And I talked about this the other night in the Derby match before the game. I was on pitch side and watching our lads getting warmed up. I think they had to be reminded this was a Derby game. They didn't look as if they were really up for it. And Ron will tell you, in Derby matches here, everybody should be buzzing, everybody should be desperate. And towards the end of this game, knowing full well that you need 3 points, I just didn't see it. As a matter of fact, we're lucky we survived, because Higuain in that last 30 seconds, onside, could have done a lot better. And had we lost the game, everybody would come out this ground really dejected. They're dejected as it is, but we could have done more today, but we just didn't seem to have the personnel to deliver.
It wasn't only the last 30 seconds that Higuain didn't do spectacularly well, but that is another subject. But that must concern you, Lou. They're saying, and the players just don't really seem to care enough, don't really seem to be up for it. You can disagree if you want.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I thought they started really well. They looked like they were really up for the game today when they come out and they wanted to get the 3 points. The first half, really bright. Matic was really good. Mata was good. Herrera, I thought, brought high energy in the midfield there. Lukaku and Rashford linked up well in the first half. But ultimately, over the course of the 90 minutes, Chelsea probably, it was a good away performance. They contained United. And in the end, a draw is probably a fair result.
Let me put this one to you, Ron. Second half at Goodison didn't really exist. Second half against City, again, second best here in the second half. Are we talking about a fitness level here, or desire level?
I don't think it's a fitness level. I think, I use the word a lot, don't I? Confidence, tempo. I think how much that affected them, the goal immediately before half-time, I don't know. But they should have enough character at a club like this to be able to override that, because the keeper has dug them out so many times. But Lou touched on it early on. I didn't see that. I didn't see anybody with a drive, or I saw one or two, in all fairness. That's a bit false. But I would have liked to have seen a more concerted effort. I mean, Sanchez come on, and when Sanchez came to this football club, I thought that is the icing on the cake. And even from him, I didn't see the same Sanchez I saw at Arsenal or Udinese or Barca when he was there, with drive and power and wanting to do things. The plus points for me, you said it earlier, we took. I thought that's the best game overall, particularly first half. I've seen Matic play for about 2 years, I would think.
Yeah, he did exceptionally well against his old club. That's the view from the studio. Let's get the view from the television commentary gantry, from Stuart and from Paddy.
I think realistically those drop points probably will end Manchester United's hopes of a top 4 finish, and ultimately the big moment in the game with United leading 1-0 through Mata's fine finish after a really good move. Coming right at the end of the first half when Rudiger's shot from range fumbled by the goalkeeper and Alonso managed just to squeeze it home for 1-1, and that really deflated Manchester United. They took a long time really to get going in the second half, and the closer they came to actually scoring a late winner, Marcus Rocco, the substitute, in stoppage time with a header off the line by the Chelsea substitute Pedro. Apart from that though, Pat, we just couldn't create much in the second half.
We needed a second goal, Stuart. We knew once we got in front 1-0 that wasn't going to be enough. We needed that second goal desperately. We weren't good enough to get it, Stuart, at the end of the day. That's the whole problem. We didn't play as well as we can, and if you don't, you're not going to get the results you want. And this is a big game for United. The record quite good here at Old Trafford, Chelsea, down through the years, but it's a massive blow to United's hopes for the top four.
Is it realistically over, do you think, now?
Well, you never know, Stuart. Miracles do happen in football, don't they? Well, not very often, but...
Yeah. United with Huddersfield and Cardiff to come, 2 great games, but needed the win today to go level with Chelsea. They couldn't get it, and it's finished 1-1.
And Chelsea maintaining their outstanding record against us as well. Let's go to the calls. We're going to go to Essex and to you, Melvin. You are through to the 3 wise men in the studio. On you go.
Yeah, good evening, guys. I just think, Mata came in for today. We've been playing Fred, which I just don't rate whatsoever. He don't even knows which shirt to pass to, and he keeps losing the ball when he's got it out, in the middle, in front of goal. Mata came in, a lot different. We played the ball quicker. And a Manchester United way of playing is get the ball up the front quick, go for it. We did that in the first half, and then the second half you think, here we go, okay, it's 1-1, but we're knocking the ball about quickly, we're getting the ball up the front, and then the second half it didn't happen. And then we bring on Alexis Sanchez, which I just don't know what's happening to that guy. I mean, he just runs around like headless chicken to me. But we're not playing the old Manchester United way. We started to show signs of that in the first half, but then the second half it just didn't happen.
Ron, you've always waved the flag for Juan Mata. Have a little chat to Melvin.
Well, for me, Juan Mata, I think he's wasted when you play him in the wide areas. Yeah, he can do little bits and pieces. His best performances, certainly for Chelsea, and wherever he's played in the past, has been in the position. He played an awful lot today, particularly first half, in that little pocket behind the front players. That's his position. He can score a goal or so today. He can create things, and he's a good player in that area. I think when you play him out in the wide areas, he's okay, but you don't get the full value out of him there, I don't think.
And do you agree with Melvin when he says there are only signs of the way Man United have always played over the years? It's not consistent.
No, it's definitely not. That's something that United have lacked all season, really, is that consistency. And Mata was good today, but ultimately over 90 minutes there wasn't enough big performances to go out and really win that game, take it by the scruff of the neck, and 3 points by hook or by crook. It just wasn't there today, unfortunately.
Lou, you a Mata fan?
Yeah, and I think the big mystery though, Jim, is 6 to 8 weeks ago the team was winning and doing well. All of a sudden the wheels have come off. They're not winning, they're not playing very well, they're back to the way they were playing when Josie was here, and everyone's asking me why is it, and I can't think of an answer.
Do you want me to ask you that as well?
Oh, go on, Jim, ask me. I don't know. I don't know why. All he gets a job, and as soon as he gets a job, the performances go from good performances, winning performances, energetic performances, to everyone goes flat. I don't get it. I don't know.
Winning and losing, Lou, isn't it? They picked up a few results early on. Confidence boost. They keep playing. All of a sudden, and the Barcelona thing and all that, and it's no disgrace really to get beat. They count that in the stats, 2 defeats by Barcelona. Anybody can get beat by Barcelona twice, but I think that's knocked them. I do honestly. I think they've lost a lot of that belief that they had a few weeks ago. Confidence.
Well, sorry.
I was going to offer you another suggestion there. How about the fact that this whole squad have been through a sort of mental and physical ringer this season, that they've had a tough management to start with, a change of management, they put everything into it, and now there's just nothing left in the tank.
Ron's shaking his head. I can see, without even answering, Jim, I can see Ron shaking his head.
You didn't give me an answer, so I've just lobbed that one to you.
No, I'm going to shake my head as well.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with Ron. You're a professional footballer. You have good games, you have bad games. The team has good games and bad games. You sit in the dressing room some week saying, why was I so bad today? Then your form picks up and you have a good spell, and then it maybe goes the other way. But every week you go out there with the intention of winning and doing well and being energetic and repaying the supporters. That hasn't been happening since Ollie got the job. It's just all petered away.
Let's go back to the callers. We're going to go to